Good evening and welcome to another presentation by the Virtual Football Network. You've just tuned in to the greatest show on YouTube. Welcome to Week 8 in the SFL Minor League. We are here tonight live in Anchorage, Alaska, where tonight the 4-3 Wolves host the still winless New York Gargoyles. It is a crisp 11 degrees Celsius, that's 52 degrees in freedom units, and a forecast of a mostly clear night with patches of clouds. But as always, my forecast for tonight, a fantastic slate of games. I'm Mark Lopez, and I will be your play-by-play announcer tonight, and with me is the awesome Jacob Clear, here to provide analysis with me. Hope you're having a great night so far, Jacob, because we have two hungry teams for two different reasons. What kind of a game are you expecting tonight between winless New York and on the playoff hunt Anchorage?
Mark, good to be back with you. A bit of a long time between drinks for us, but I'm getting deja vu. I watched and called New York last week, and it was the closest they came to their opening win of the season, so maybe under the good luck charm for the Gargoyles, but they head into a pretty tough opponent here on the road against Anchorage, who've got a pretty well-rounded offense here and a stellar defense that has performed amicably over the last few weeks. So we'll see how they do well with this challenge, but steps forward taken by New York last week.
JW Hartshorn and Ali Dayomis are on stats, and Alex West, our SFLm commissioner, is producing this show. We're going to get this ball started with a kickoff here as Anchorage will receive it in the end zone and start at their 20-yard line. Going to take a first look here at Mikhail Pajak and company. This team, a balanced offense, as you mentioned, Jacob. They're going to start out with an offset eye spread look against the nickel formation on defense for New York. Anchorage, as Pajak will step back, a deep step back, and taking his time looking for a target. Downfield pressure is coming. He lets the ball go, and that's caught. That's caught near midfield. Wow, what a play by Joey Hightower.
Pajak was very, nonchalant, just walking out of the pocket. He was barely moving, and then eventually sort of decided, okay, now's the time to throw. Absolutely no pressure on him at all by New York, and able to make that throw into triple coverage, mind you, and pulls it off.
Yeah, pressure none to be spoken of by New York's defensive line. That's a handoff. I believe that's to John. No, that's to Aunt Tim. Let's introduce you to this offense on the field right now. Aunt Tim with a carry, the other running back, John Osmosis, and Chevy Monte Carlo, the fullback. Mikhail Pajak, the quarterback. Receivers, Kevin Parker, Joey Hightower, Elliot Pope Jr., Bobby Tarantino, and Sanj Singh, the tight end. As this ball is handed off for almost a first down. That is to John Osmosis. On the offensive line for Anchorage, they got Jackie Jones, Jess Fullerton Galarza, Rose Steele, and Demon Pickle. On special unit kicking and punting for them, they got Joe Garfield and Trace Walsh. It's 3rd and 1 now. Heavy set look for Anchorage, trying to get a first down here. It's a dive to the fullback. That is Chevy Monte Carlo. He picks up. No, it's Aunt Tim lining up as a fullback. He's going to pick up a first down and heavily in the side of New York now.
Yeah, a lot going on there, Mark. They had Osmosis in the backfield and then switched him in there, and Tim played fullback on that last down.
Here's Pajak to throw to the wide open receiver. Kevin Parker runs him all the way to the end zone. The red carpet was thrown for him for 6 points.
Yeah, not an ideal start here for New York on defense. That first passing play they should have dealt with, and this one, they just let the receivers slip in behind them. Two defenders there that could have easily made a play, but they just half step away, and Anchorage made very quick work of that.
It was Devontae Moore, the deaf player from LA, on man-on-man coverage against against Kevin Parker, and he was just not quick enough to keep up on coverage. So that's going to result in 6 points. Extra point is up and good, meaning Anchorage in less than 2 minutes have put in 7 points on top of New York, and New York on the road trying to still find the first win are on the ropes already.
And you know Kevin Parker is one of the best receivers in the SFLm, so you know that he's going to get involved early and on those deep threats as well. Just got to pay more attention to those outside receivers.
Absolutely. You got a wealth of receivers here for Anchorage. Two dev players also coming from the Pro League down to join the Anchorage offense. But we're going to take a look at New York now as they come on the field with their offense. Nice return here, picked up at around the 10-yard line. That's Lizardi on the return all the way to the 40-yard line. So a decent start for them. We're going to see a lot of this decent starts for New York. What with their young kicker of Anchorage, Joe Garfield, and then being returned by Lizardi. So they start first down at the 41-yard line. They line up in I-twins. Taking their time here. Clock down to 12. It's going to be a pitch to the outside, but taken inside. That is number 26, Dominic Tombstone Kane. Let's introduce you to this New York offense. Brady Hendricks, the quarterback, running back Dominic Kane, Big Soldier, and Tom Thicky, the fullback. Receivers are Yak Williams, D'Angelo Lopez, Ronnie Shanahan, and Ivan Lizardi. Their two tight ends, Liam Sandcastle and Robert Thumb. Flip I spread here for New York. It's going to be a handoff to the running back again. Decent run. I think that is Dominic Kane again as he gets his second carry for 6 yards.
Yeah, he was unreal last week, Dominic Kane. I think it was Lenore West who probably stole the pundits in that last game as the Goggles were on the losing effort, but he took leaps and bounds forward last week in terms of his performance, so he'll be looking to replicate that again.
Now it's Cubby Big Soldier in the backfield, perhaps a handoff to him, perhaps a fullback dive. It will be to Big Soldier. No, it's play action. Hendricks will throw. Hendricks completes to a nice throw to the outside, targeting and finding Robert Thump on that completion.
Yeah, I like that play call. Just gets the play fake away and buys himself some time and then just throws the end route because that's hard to defend from an Anchorage perspective. Once you get a receiver who's got his back turned to the defender, it's an easy ball to place for the quarterback.
And a great route ran as well by Thump, the hot route where he leaves himself open one-on-one. New York I-twins again on first down, now in Anchorage's side of the field here. Looking to motion Thicky to offset himself from the I formation. They're going to give this to Dominic Tombstone Kane, who finds the edge, breaks one tackle, one more player to get away from, but no, gets brought down by Bobby Green. But what a great run by Tombstone.
Yeah, it's what we saw from him last week, 230-odd pounds. As soon as he gets one-on-one with a defensive back, he wins the matchup 9 times out of 10. Already has planted one Anchorage defender in the turf.
Another eye joker's look here for the New York's offense. Dominic Kane, one of his known strengths is yards after the hit, and boy, what a large yards after a big hit. Here's the handoff. This one is to Big Soldier. Big Soldier will set up the 3rd and 1, and plenty of things they can do here in 3rd and short.
Well, I threw it last time. Since they won't do that again here because you get Dominic Kane back and he's got forward progress on 23 carries. I expect you just give it back to him again here.
It is a very similar formation, and now Dominic Kane is back in the backfield. Thicky at the fullback. It'll be a pitch to Dominic Kane to the weak side, breaks one tackle, gets brought down by a second defender as they get a first down. I forgot to mention the offensive line for New York here. We want to introduce everyone on this offense. Morgan Toriel and Kenny Cook are the offensive tackles on contract here for New York. 1st and 10 now in the 25-yard line. Be a handoff here. Big Soldier will pick up 3.
Yes, it's a very straightforward run game at the moment. It just everything's A to B. This is what we saw from them last week. They don't make any tricks really with their backfield. They just want the easy yardage and then try and see if Kane can make a big play off the back of one of his runs.
It is Kane in the backfield. It was a pitch play to him prior. It's going to be a hand defend. He was blown up in the backfield. Zachary Babin of the outside linebacker for Anchorage meets him with a huge hit.
It's just a very well disguised blitz there on the outside. No one picked him up and had the speed there to get to the ball right as it was handed off. It's a nice play.
Fortunately, not resulting in a fumble. Hang on to that ball. So now it's 3rd and 10 for Brady Hendricks. Absolutely have to pass here. Quads look. Hendricks will step back deep. Takes his time. Will throw. One-on-one coverage is good. Complete to Lizardi, his top receiver here in the minor league for New York. And what a close coverage that he just threaded the needle.
Yeah, if you're Iggy Turner on the sideline, you are ecstatic with that
Oh,
because your quarterback stepped into the pocket and actually absorbed some of the pressure and then delivers a needle thread in between to find your top target, gets to his first read. That's a beautiful third down conversion.
Eric Belmont, the corner on coverage from Queen City, had a pretty good game uh, in the pros last night here, but New York here again, first and goal. The handoff to not Thicky, but Big Soldier goes for about half a yard.
Yeah, so now you can settle it again. That run didn't go anywhere, but again, play it short, keep things simple.
We'll see how simple they get here in second and goal at the 10-yard line. The handoff here to Kane. Kane breaks a tackle. Will be brought down by the linebacker, and Kane is just very good at initial impact, getting extra yards where most running backs cannot.
Yes, you have to throw this one now, but I think you back Hendricks here in this situation to find a read. Gonna go aggressive, I don't mind it.
Shotgun look. Anchorage will counter with a dime look at the 6-yard line, where typically a dime is not the most suggested defensive formation. But Hendricks will look to throw here. Pressure is coming, throw to the out route, and that's going to be hit and jarred loose out of the hands of Robert Thump.
It looked like the additional receiver on the outside there was just running a little dig route, and that was probably the better option there in that scenario, but it falls away incomplete. No harm done, but a good drive that didn't probably deserved a 6 points at the end of it, but so far not the result they wanted.
But still points on the board as that field goal is good. New York, after about a 60, no, they started their 40-yard line. So this is just about a 50-yard drive. They put up 3 points, cut into the lead of Anchorage. 2 minutes and 58 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Uh, we're going to see New York's defense come back on the field, Jacob, after probably a disaster start. What kind of adjustments you might think they're going to do? Return all the way to the 27 as Tarantino on the return.
Yeah, just wanted to let that kickoff run out, but yeah, good question. I mean, they got torched a couple of times through their passing attack, so you know the man coverage might not be working tonight. We'll see if they draw that up again. But if you are, you've got to be right on the money, and they weren't on that first possession, so got to play a little bit more close to the line.
It's more of a zone look here for New York. Cover 2, high safety. But here's the handoff to on Tim. On Tim eats up that zone defense, picking up 9 for Anchorage.
Good play calling on the offensive side because there's just no one there in the middle of the park, and the tension's sort of on the outside, and Tim's able to collect a good chunk of yardage.
And with these zone defenses, because the defenders are, laid back a bit, offensive line and blockers can move upfield quicker. And these are there. 9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1 now. Heavy set look for Anchorage. That is number 20 and the halfback spot here. It's going to be the fullback dive again. That is number 20. Trying to get a name here for you, but unable to get the first down. So it's 3rd and 3. In fact, a loss of yardage on that play. So Anchorage 3rd and 3. What do you think they could do here, Jacob?
Some interesting rotations here. They've got Tim in the backfield again. This is a bit more natural. See if they run it here.
It'll be a run. It is the quarterback. Mikhail Pajak jumps over 1-2 defenders. He's going to get a first down. I don't know about you, Jacob, but as a coach, I see that, and I'm scared for the life of my quarterback.
Yeah, I generally keep those out of the playbook, but I got the play call from Ryan Davis on the sideline, and Charles Doherty might be a fan of that.
It is gutsy, but at the end of the day, it's also the style of Coach Ryan Davis. He does like those fullback dives and quarterback sneaks. Here's Pajak to throw again on first down. Pajak takes his time and finds the receiver in a nice out route. That's number 10, Kevin Parker, or perhaps a dig route that just gets extended to the opposite side of the field.
The offensive line play there, just Rose Steele on the left-hand side, just held it down. There was so much time for Pajak to make that read. Just brilliant so far from this offensive line.
First down again. Pajak under center will hand this off on the draw play, and on Tim. Tim seems almost untouched on the way to another 9 yards, Jacob.
That Thomas Galata with them lead block. They're getting eaten alive at the moment. New York have really got to pick up the intensity a little bit. They're playing a bit soft at the moment. Need to send a bit more pressure forward, perhaps.
8 in the box for New York. It's a fullback dive again, number 20 with the carry. As it will be this time first down for number 20, and for Anchorage, they are now once again in the zone of New York, knocking on the door of the red zone. First and 10. Offset look by the halfback here. It'll go to Tim. Tim will pick up a yard. Is going to get tackled. That is number 56, LJ or no, that's Simmons on the tackle. And that'll set up second and 9. Let's introduce you to New York's defense while we have the chance. Defensive lineman LJ Hobson, May West. Linebackers Mike Albert. Quarterbacks Devontae Moore and Hudson Cruz. Zion Waddle's the safety. And that is the end of the first quarter. It has been pretty much Anchorage domination on the offensive end, but New York is still hanging on there. Anchorage has the ball, momentum, and the chance to extend the lead here. Second and 9. They're going to come out here and I look. Jacob, they might I spread look. We've seen Mikhail throw out of this formation a few times now. On Tim in the backfield. It will be a fullback dive. My mistake on Tim, not in the halfback slot, but once again in the fullback slot. And this fullback dives, they put it in heavy sets, they put it in spread sets, and it's catching New York off guard.
Yeah, that's when they got it right. They had the two linebackers jammed in the middle, and the first one picked up the lead block, and then the second one just didn't sort of move quick enough. And in the end, Tim picks up a good chunky yardage again.
And again, third and 1. Mikhail Pajak will give it back to the fullback, to number 20, who has now 3 touches in the night. As
I gave that to Chevy Mokan. That'll be challenged. I don't think he got that. They've given him the first down on field, but if I'm Don Destalacani on the sideline, I'm throwing the flag. Yeah, there it is.
The flag is indeed thrown, and you're right. I think my first look too looked short. But we'll see. We gotta look here on the replay. Did Chevy get the first down? Not the best angle here. Here's a better look. You're looking at whether the ball crosses the yellow line, not just beyond the yellow line, but that was not even close. The ruling is overturned. No timeout charged for New York. Coach Iggy happy with the decision by the referee, and it's now fourth. And are they going to go for this, Jacob?
I mean, why not? Ajax out there.
They are. They're going to go.
You've got all the momentum.
All momentum. Can Pajak can sneak this. He can give this to fullback again. They can pitch it to on Tim. They've shown 3 different run styles tonight. 3 different running backs can get the ball here. It's Pajak. He gets the first down, they say. But I wonder if this is challengeable. What do you think, Jacob?
That was awfully close again. You wonder if there were question marks, but I feel like that one was a little bit more conclusive, and you probably have to let that one slide. But we'll see. It's an interesting drive. It's the second time they've run it with Pajak in that situation.
Pajak will throw it first down. This will be a completion to Kevin Parker. He picks up an 8-yard catch on the hook route on the outside.
Tough one from the film room, upcoming for the corner on the outside there. Just turned his back on the play. You can't do that against a player like Kevin Parker, because he could have broken that and gone upfield. It could have been anything. In the end, it's just an 8-yard gain.
Look at New York pinch the defensive line, and that's going to give Tim a hard time, but he's still breaking free out of the tackler. There's a player down on New York side of the field. Alberts, the linebacker, out for the moment. Mike Alberts with an injury.
And that's their only linebacker, so a team that's already pretty shallow as far as defensive players is concerned. Lost a play now. You're really struggling against the run in those middle areas of the field. Losing really the only player that occupies that space could be huge.
Yep, so their best tackler down. We'll see how Anchorage takes advantage. They line up in empty here, meaning New York has to line up in some kind of pass coverage, perhaps not needing the likes of Alberts on tackling duty. Pajak to throw to the outside. That is complete. That is good. Can he get to the end zone? Yes.
Touchdown,
With a quick
Cowboys.
start, Bobby Tarantino adds to the lead with 6 more points on a beautiful route run and touchdown.
Yeah, he couldn't believe the space that was presented to him upfield. He just, again, another quick end around, gets to the backside, and I mean, it's not exactly the most convincing blocking effort there on the play, but you know, it all counts, and 2 major scores in the first 2 drives for the Anchorage Wolves.
And by 2 different receivers, Pajak with 2 passing touchdowns already here in the first half alone. New
The
York
extra point is
need to
good.
find answers both on defense and offense. As at the very least, the defense so far has been yielding points on every drive for New York. Sorry, for Anchorage. Anchorage now will kick the ball back. We got 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And New York will probably want to spend most of those 8 minutes trying to answer back. Here's the return. All the way to the 30-yard line. Pretty good return here. And to think that Shanahan started from inside his end zone.
Yeah, and their first drive was respectable. It just didn't result in a major score, but you keep going to it. Donovan Kane was good.
Mhm.
Hendricks made some really nice throws on the last possession. You just stick to the script here and see if your defense can pick up the slack.
Well, we'll see what else they have in the script as the I-Pro formation will be rolled out. There'll be a handoff to the outside to Dominic King. He's going to pick up 5 yards. It's a healthy 5 yards.
Which you find with that sort of stuff because really now your clock management is you don't want Anchorage to get the ball back with a significant amount of time because of the way that they're playing offensively. You've got to try and keep the ball out of their hands.
Joker's look here. Bake to the fullback and handoff here to Big Soldier. Big Soldier's going to get a loss of a yard, and this is going to actually give us a chance to introduce you to the Anchorage defense, who are also much deserving of an introduction. Chad McPherson, Finn Steele on the defensive line, Bobby Green, Duncan Onem, and Zachary Babino linebackers. And on the DBs are Julian Gasca, Eric Belmont, and Spiderweb. Here's a rollout by Hendricks. Pressure's coming. Hendricks will throw, and Hendricks connects. What a play by New York there. Despite the pressure mounting on them, they still complete the play.
Yeah, much better. Pretty ordinary play call on second down, and then Hendricks just makes another really good decision because you've got a one-on-one matchup. You trust your receiver to turn his back and get in between the receiver and the ball. Does so and gets him up at halfway.
D'Angelo Lopez with a beautiful route, turnaround, and catch. Setting themselves up here, first and down in the midfield. Handoff to Kane. Once again, Kane will get another healthy 4 yards. I mean, averaging over 4 yards a carry is Dominic Kane. That's a pretty good stat for him.
Yeah, and again, you take that here in this scenario. You go downfield, Kane checks back. I think it was KBS in that last run, so alternating, but I think you prefer that.
Ooh, hit behind the line of scrimmage. So Big Soldier will get, or sorry, that's Kane actually. He's going to get just a yard here. 6 yards shy of the first down. It's gonna set up 3rd and 5 again. So Hendricks will look to pass.
Yeah, they've just done way better with those A to B runs. Every time they try to bounce out the outside, Anchorage knows where the pressure needs to go. So if they draw up air again, Hendricks has got them out of this situation a couple of times already.
He's gonna roll out again on 3rd down. He's gonna throw to the outside. That is complete again. Lizardi with another catch. Or with his, sorry, that's Lopez again with another catch on 3rd down. So D'Angelo Lopez now being a 3rd down menace for New York.
He had 2 open receivers there to make the call. That time, just again, same thing. Get to the one-on-one matchup. Trust the receiver to make the play. Hendricks having a good game so far.
His QBR is 110 in 5 attempts. 4 completions. I spread look for him. He's going to pitch it to the outside. Kane with a beautiful run and a broken tackle. Sends that guy to the underworld. Stacy gets a 1st down and more. I think he stepped out of bounds here. We'll wait for a challenge, but if it stands, it's an incredible play by Kane.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm actually more impressed by because I've seen him do the truck stick before, but his ability to keep his feet in bounds here, just the
Ooh.
composure to march the sideline and get an extra 5 or 6 yards, that's brilliant. And that's the sign of a top flight SFL back there in Dominic Kane. That's one of the best runs that he's had all season.
And it looks like no challenge, meaning so he did look like he stepped inbounds and kept the play alive. Credit the extra blocker on the outside too, as Dominic Kane had plenty of room thanks to the blocks on the outside. So it takes a village to make a great play. Here's a run to the outside again. Kane, or is that Big Soldier? That is Big Soldier with the carry, picking up 5. So even Big Soldier productive on the run game.
Yeah, they're both very traditional power backs where they're just going to seek the contact, whereas finesse backs are going to try and shy away from it and try and use their speed to bounce to the outside. They want that contest.
5 on the line, 3 linebackers for Anchorage. They can't make
Yeah.
the tackle, and because of that, he gets to the end zone. Dominic Kane will be the first to give the touchdown to New York, and they cut into this lead. Much needed score by New York.
Yeah, again, he just keeps going forward in leaps and bounds. There's going to be plenty of top flight teams looking at his tape over the last few weeks because that's another really good run to the outside that time. Got past the only defender who could touch him and gets the score and a score that he deserved for the work that he's done so far in this opening half.
Anchorage have 3 contract linebackers, and yet that is number 52, Dexter Coakley, the backup linebacker out there on the field, who was essentially the one to make the first tackle but broken. So perhaps some stamina issues as some of their star linebackers had to take a rest and probably had the worst time here for Anchorage. New York's going to kick it off after getting their score up to 10, cutting into this lead. Anchorage nursing a 14 to 10 lead here. They're going to return the kickoff to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, so 4.5 minutes here, Mike. This is a swing drive, really, in the sense that if Anchorage score again, you've really putting the pressure on because, as we know, it was Anchorage football to start. I think so they would get the ball on the second drive of the second half, so not as important, but. It's the opportunity for New York's defense to step up and get the ball back again because they can double down
Mhm.
to start the second half.
Well, Anchorage have their running back offset here again. It's going to be a draw play.
Much better.
And New York, well defended, absolutely much better on the tackle. Not only the tackle, but the read of the play.
So they sent the safety forward. And that's what you have to do now because you know that they're running in the middle. That's what they've done pretty much all game. So you've got to send extra pressure in that, especially with your best tackler in the middle of the park.
Defensive line helping too by pinching the middle of the field here. Not a lot of running lanes as they hand this off to Tim again. Tim can't get more than 3, and it's 3rd and 6, and 2 great running defense by New York.
So again, no Mike Alberts, but they've now had 2 running plays that they've stifled pretty much, and this is going to force Pajak to try and get them out of trouble here. Could be a quick 3 and out here if they defend this play well.
Could be a threat to Parker or Hightower or even Bobby Tarantino or Probe Jr. He has 4 weapons on the field
Pressure.
now. Pajak to throw, deflected, tipped, and falls harmlessly to the ground. They say that's number 21, Devontae Moore, with the deflection.
And that's better. You saw on that opening touchdown throw to Kevin Parker that Devontae Moore was probably 2 steps away from the receiver. That time he was right in the play and able to get his hand up and make the deflection. Gets the defense off the field. That's a crucial quarter time adjustment by Iggy Turner and company on the sideline to get their defense back in check because that's a really important 3rd down stop. And now you've got an opportunity to change the script here with this next drive.
And with 3 minutes on the clock, all timeouts, you can essentially end the half here, Jacob. Headed to end the half with a score, head to halftime, and go back in the second half with the ball in your hands. You're right. I think for New York, this would be their swing drive to go from 10-14 to potentially the lead after the half. First down at their 24-yard line. High pro look here again for New York. That is Tombstone Kane in the backfield. Taking no motion, their tight end, make him a 3rd wide receiver. but it's going to go to Kane. He has wide open room on the running lane. He's going to pick up 6 yards.
It's such a good call because it just changes the blocking scheme on the outside when you motion that tight end out, get your lead blocker and on a defensive back and allow him room to make that play. Could have gone further if he had made the right read there.
Anchorage will open up the middle of the defensive line. The handoff, though, will go to the outside, and Big Soldier will still say they pick up 2 yards. That is number 54, Zachary Babineau, on the tackle.
Yeah, Babineau just makes those plays. When you get him one-on-one, he's the guy that's going to be able to come up and make that play. So 3rd down and 2. You're going to send pressure again if you're Anchorage. See if they can get Kane in some free space.
3rd and 2. Pitch to Kane. To the outside is going to be tackled. What a great tackle for loss by Green. And this Anchorage defense will say, no siree to your swing drive. We're going to take it back here. They're going to force a punt.
Yeah, Bobby Green just read that like a book. Knew exactly what was coming there because they've run that toss play a few times today on the 3rd down and shorts. It works before, not that time because they read it. Crucial stop, and they'll have 2 minutes to try and go downfield if they so wish.
That will take us to the 2-minute warning. You're watching the Simulation Football League here in the Virtual Football Network. Simulation Football League this week on VFN. The UFL Conference Finals get going at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight ahead of their inaugural UFL Championship game on Friday, October 3rd. Meanwhile, SFL action resumes this weekend as the Week 12 rolls in with another slate of great games. But here in the minor league, after this game, we got a couple more games to round out the SFLm Triple Header Tuesday. First time we're going to have the schedule of triple headers, and going to be a Tuesdays of triple headers for the minor league. For the meantime, here's a handoff to Tim, again from the fullback spot for first down. 1 yard gain only, Jacob, but it's turning the clock here.
Yeah, and just, again, keep going down. I don't know if they'll get aggressive or not here in the back end, but worth a shot here because you know New York can get the football back to start the second half.
Payjack will throw, and Payjack meets pay dirt as a great sack by New York will essentially kill this, well, not yet kill the drive, but set Anchorage up for 3rd and very long.
Well, again, they've made the necessary adjustments. Simmons had 5 tackles, 2 for a loss, 1 sack. It's a decent first half stat line.
Absolutely. Pretty great stat line for the defensive player. Despite the 2 scoring drives yielded by New York, they have now clamped down. So, a punt to the previous drive by Anchorage, potentially going to be able to get out of here. The 3 and out. The throw to the outside is good, but he gets away from the defender. And when New York thought they could get away here off the field, instead Anchorage converts, and they use their timeout to get downfield and put some points on the board.
Waste of a timeout, though. I mean, he should have stepped out of bounds. You've got 2 defenders on you. Just take the right foot step, take it out of bounds, stop the clock. You're never going to make that play on the outside. I know he's good, but that was a bridge too far.
Well, Payjack will be under center. He's going to throw again. Will throw to the outside again. Complete for a short gain of 7. Going to call their second timeout now.
Yeah, so what are they, 40 yards away? They're sticking it to the outside at the very least, so now you've got to really put your focus on those areas of the field because Parker's going to get a lot of attention here on this drive. He's had 6 catches now so far, 2 back-to-back.
Joe Garfield will try to kick this if they can get to his kicking range. They're maybe 10 yards away from there. Payjack will throw to the left of the field this time. That's going to go nowhere. Is somebody down? No, I thought somebody got hurt, but instead it's 3rd and 3.
Because we as well really, really, really close to defensive pass interference there on that occasion. It wouldn't have been a huge deal just because of the field position. It would have been just a fresh set of downs, maybe 5 yards downfield, but a really touch-and-go situation there for New York.
And New York want to get off the field at this point. Out of the field goal range for Anchorage's kicker, Joe Garfield. And 3rd and 3, and essentially don't want to bleed more points here. Payjack will throw. Will to the outside, thrown to the defender and almost picked off. Number 45 for New York. Will just tip that ball down and gonna force a punt here.
Well, yeah, it went towards Parker, but it's not the throw you're really after. And no field goal, so they're clearly not quite in that space of the field just yet. Yeah, they're on their 40, so you may as well, with 36 seconds to go, have a shot downfield here.
Here's a throw on fourth down. They complete the fourth down play, Jacob. They said, punt, how about just keep going and get into some kind of kicking range?
So basically another identical play where it's just that little hitch route for Kevin Parker to get the first down. See if they can send him downfield here on this possession. Already nearly the century mark. You suspect he's going to
Almost.
end the half with another catch here.
He's 3 yards away from that mark. Pajak will throw to the outside again. Oh my goodness. This man is out of world right now. Kevin Parker with the 7th catch for 114 yards. Now they go hurry up here inside the red zone. Pajak has completed 3 in a row to the end zone. That's complete. And in the blink of an eye, Anchorage puts up their 3rd touchdown of the ball game. The 3rd from Pajak as well.
Yeah, just changes the script last minute. It was Parker was running the deep route, but he had defenders jammed up inside him and just throws it into a tight window there for Bobby Tarantino to make the play. He's got 2, and it's a huge moment for Anchorage, knowing that they won't get the ball to start the second half. You go forward, get the go-ahead score. That puts a ton of pressure on New York now to start the second half.
Plenty of pressure here as the lead by Anchorage is now up to 11. They are 21-10. They have scored a touchdown on 3 of their 4 drives. I mean, even this drive, Jacob, has been a gutsy drive. They had a, the 4th down conversion that they had to complete, and then back-to-back completions by Pajak to set themselves up for the score. New York with 11 seconds here to go in the second quarter. I think they still have all their timeouts here.
Yeah, they do, but I don't think they're going to go for it here. I think you take the halftime score for what it is and try and reshape things in the second half. They had their opportunity earlier. Got shut down for a 3 and out.
They're going to line up relatively conservatively here. Running backs, 2 tight ends. Throw to the middle of the field. A short step back, short pass. That's complete. A 6-yard carry. I mean, Brady Hendricks, despite the score, has been having a pretty good night. 6 attempt, 5 completions, 107 QBR. But unfortunately for them, that is how the half is going to end, with New York trailing 10-21 Anchorage with all the momentum and a dominating lead here in the first half, Jacob.
Yeah, heaps to talk about here because New York just sort of played in fits and spurts there. You can tell that they can do it today, but this Anchorage offense has been clinical in this opening half. Yeah, Hendricks a good stat line. Kane's been outstanding, but really they're just chasing the game at the moment, New York. They've got to lock down the defense at the moment and really hope you can stop the passing attack on the outside. Kevin Parker, unbelievable in the opening half.
Kevin Parker, as we take a look at his numbers, Kevin Parker, 8 receptions and 9 targets. That means Jacob, he only has missed 1 of the targets his way for over 100 yards. You see right there, 16.3 yards per catch to go with a touchdown, and he is your player of the ball game, or of the half. Pajak as well, basically a stellar first half. His QBR is 157.1. He is just, I believe, 1.2 QBR away from a perfect game, because the maximum is 158.3. Here's the kickoff. New York is going to get the ball to start the second half. It's going to be returned to broken tackle. Couldn't get much more yards. Lazardi will bring it up to the 27. That's where New York's going to start. At their 27-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Single back here. They're going to roll the pair slot. Look for the first time. Let's see what adjustment they may have in store for us. Here in the second half, they're going to start with a throw, and that is incomplete. Probably mistimed his receiver. Intended target was number 32. Tom Thicky, that target.
Bit of an interesting play call. I'm not sure what the idea is there in that situation. You just think you've got to settle things again. You're on the road. Get Kane involved once again. But now you're on second down. It just changes the script again. They might go to the air again
And that's the fullback Tom Thicke again on the
here.
line, lined up as a tight end. We'll see what they do here in 2nd and 10. Handoff? No, it's a fake. Play action by Hendricks. He's going to throw and let loose. He's going to complete. What a play. He finds D'Angelo Lopez, who gets his 3rd catch of the evening.
Did very well there, and he had his back turned to the defender and has to really stick his hands up and get
Ooh,
a high point the ball with the defender in his face. That's a top play there.
the concentration to hang on to the ball. Didn't need to leap for it. Probably only leapt a brick's height to make that catch. Here's the pitch to Kane. Kane breaks one tackle, and goodness me, Kane. It just feels like he's going to break one of these and get 50 yards. Anchorage cleans up, though.
That's the identity, right? First down run, go to Kane, and then see what you can pick up here on the second down and short. Go again at the ground, see if you can pick up the first, or better yet, you play the 3-down drives.
8 in the box for Anchorage. He's going to be the big soldier. Big soldier has plenty of room here in the middle. But short of the first down, it's 3rd and inches now.
There you go, nothing wrong with that because now you've got 2 plays to get half a yard, and Kane's back in there again. So anytime KBS can pick up those chunk yardage there and make the 3rd down a more comfortable one, that's ideal. Here they've crossed halfway, starting to make some progress.
Bobby Green off the line. Oh, the cutback by Kane probably slowed him down there in his 4th and inches.
Yeah, you can't run those plays there in this situation. You just got to go A to B. He's going to challenge it. I just don't think he got there. I think that's the fair call. We'll see what happens here, but it's just you've got to just run an ISO or something like that that just gets him straight forward, get the half yard, keep going.
We'll see here as referee number 11 will give us a second look here. Kind of a trap play as they pulled the guard
Maybe he
to the
did.
left to right. Looking at the ball here. Ooh, well, the ball, most of his helmet is across the line, but not the ball.
I
I think
think
the
Green
challenge
got
is
him.
going to fail.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a top tackle by Green there at the line. He's had a couple already, Bobby Green, where he's gotten early and made the play on Kane. 4th and inches, you've got to go for this.
They're likely going to go for their also in Anchorage's side of the field. So even if they miss this,
Punt formation.
oh, it's punt formation, man. You want to go for this.
Disappointing.
The punt is going to be kicked and caught. Okay, at the 15-yard line. I guess they figured they're not going to rely on the luck of the bounce to get it into the end zone, so they just catch it. But it's going to be dropped, and they're going to start at the 13-yard line. This is an 87-yard drive for Anchorage if they want to score another touchdown.
Yeah, Sensigi Turner won't be happy with that play call, but the 3rd down play call wasn't the right one either.
Mhm.
I feel like you need just those safe runs in those heavy sets.
Those downfield, your quickest play to get the inch. No fancy cutbacks or whatever. But Anchorage will try to take advantage here as on Tim talked about a straight line run. How about a dive by Tim to pick up another 8 yard? That's probably his 3rd or 4th gain of 8 or more yards.
Yeah, they're running out of the single back a lot, so they're just basically taking the approach of let's get them into their passing defense and then run to the space, and it's working.
New York have 9 in the box here against the heavy look. Pullback dive by Monte Carlo. Another first down by Chevy Monte Carlo, and another first down by Anchorage.
Yeah, again, you can't really fault what they're doing with these fullback dives. They're working at the moment. Just too fast for the New York defense to try and respond to, and another fresh set of downs, and Pajak hasn't had to make a throw yet.
Why would he when you're up 11 points? Just give it to Tim. He's going to give it to Tim on the pitch. Fullback play, and that's going to get plenty of yards. What a play designed by Anchorage. You put your running back at the fullback spot, means he is about 5 yards closer to the line, Jacob, and that's what happens.
I love that just because it happens so fast where you're giving the defense very little opportunity to try and read it before it's even spun it downfield. Our team's having a really good game today.
You got to credit the coaching crew as well, putting all these wrinkles and I wouldn't say necessarily trick plays, but they just put in the most efficient plays that they can in their playbook. Here's, I believe that's Tim again. No, that is Osmosis. He picks up 6 in the play, and he's also productive.
Yeah, it's clinical at the moment, and New York's defense is getting eaten alive again by the ground game.
2nd and 4. Heavy set again. There's Tim in the fullback spot. He is going to get the handoff, and oh my. I mean, even against the heaviest of looks on defense by New York, Anchorage just seems like they're pouring through.
Again, it's clinical and just straight up the gut. Another one of these fullback runs that Ryan Davis seems to favour quite heavily, and that's a very efficient stat line for our team, given that his longest have been of 19. Just his chunk yardage today has been 7 or 8 rather than the 4 or 5 on the New York side of the ball.
And he does it before even getting hit. Whereas Dominic Kane have to power through an initial defender to get his yardage. Here's Bajak to throw. Bajak, everyone on the defensive line is on the ground, and that means Bajak can complete this pass. What the protection by this offensive line.
That's how they got it right on the sideline with the 2 defenders around Kevin Parker, and they just didn't get the play right in the end. Pajak's been clinical today, but there's a defender there that just turns his back on the play. You cannot do that there in that situation, given the performance that Kevin Parker is putting together.
Parker now up to 123 yards, 8 catches, an insane night by Kevin Parker. Bajak will pitch to the outside to Tim. Here's Tim rolling out of a tackle, and who gets shouldered down by the New York defender, number 61, I believe. 51, Hardy with a tackle. So 2nd and 6 now. We said it was an 87-yard drive. Well, they are now inside the red zone of New York. It's going to be a throw. Complete! Matt Bajak has been working magic all night tonight. 3 touchdowns, another completion. Quarterback rating of 158.3. He is perfect.
Yeah, McCall has been clinical tonight and just continues to put this defense under siege here. Now 6 yards away, you can go back to the ground game, let Tim cross this line. He's earned the drive.
Tim will have trouble trying to break through here on 1st and goal as the traffic jam ensued there in the middle of the field.
Another fullback run. That time they responded to it. So if they drop something similar again here or diversify the ground game, very seldom run actually out of the running back spot.
See what they do here. Tim is still there in the fullback spot, and he will get the handoff again on a dive as they keep pummeling that middle of the field of New York.
So to New York's credit, they've responded to what they're seeing. Now, field goal's not the end of the world here for New York because it doesn't really change the fact that it's a 2-score game. But you've really got to prevent the touchdown now on this 3rd down. Huge play.
So a nickel-looking defense here, Jacob. Anchorage can take advantage if this is a run play. We'll see what they do here. 4 yards to go. They will throw. Bajak has all the time in the world. To the outside and tipped. Oh, goodness me, that's almost picked as well. New York, hang on. They don't allow a touchdown, as you were alluding to, Jacob. As number 51 will deflect this and almost picks it off.
Just so much happening there that is going to make both coaching staffs just lose their minds. I mean, the offensive line play was outstanding. Pajak had 5 to 7 business days to make that throw. And then the back stopped moving. Tim just basically ran his route and then stood there. No marked him. He could have gotten the ball. And then the end zone throw was in between 3 different defenders and one of them dropped it. Just an absurd play. And in the end, it's kept New York in the game. I know the pick probably more beneficial there if he makes it. Either way, it's still a 2-score game. But this next drive really you feel for New York has to be a scoring one, given how clinical they've been, Anchorage,
Right.
going downfield and being able to burn the clock away. You feel this next drive has to be a major score.
That was a soul wrenching of a drive. A 4 minute, 32-second drive, 11 plays, over 80 yards on that drive. And so New York need to try to make up 14 points of a deficit here with 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. They showed some adjustments, Jacob, in their first drive of the half. Unfortunately for them, the running by Kane ended that drive as they couldn't convert on fourth and inches or third and inches. We'll see if they can turn the tides here. First and 10 at their 35-yard line. What do they line up with? They line up in what looks like a offset eye spread look, a flip spread look too. The handoff will go to Kane. Kane has open room. Kane has space.
Oh,
He's going to break a tackle. He has the red carpet rolled out for him. Now the Red Sea will crash down back on him as the tackle by number 95 saves a touchdown. Kane had all the space in the world, could have gone all the way to the end zone, but what a play.
yeah, that lead block was outstanding by Thicky, and that's devastating when Dominic Kane is able to get one-on-one with the high safety. It was nearly daylight for him, and just an unbelievable run design there.
And Jacob, can you believe it? It's the defensive lineman Colson Weatherington who makes the touchdown saving tackle against Kane. Here's the handoff to Big Soldier. Big Soldier's can get a loss of a play here. -1 yards as Webb. Spider Webb makes a great tackle.
Yes, they shut down that run. Now you get Kane back out there again on the rotation. So if they go back to it again, they're in the spread again. They like this a couple of plays ago.
It is a same play. Kane cannot break his first tackle, and that means Anchorage can wrap him up with two defenders, Bobby Green and Spider Webb again on the tackle.
Yeah, no, even though we're speaking exclusively SFLm, these coaches don't get fooled twice. So that's a probably a missed opportunity there to try and diversify things. So now you've got to try and convert here in a third down and long.
Hendricks has four wide receivers out there in the field, and Big Soldier in the backfield. Let's see if he throws to Lazardi. Hendricks has time, will throw. Oh, that is incomplete. He was looking for, well, not Lazardi. That's number 12, Yak Williams, the intended target, who had the route downfield. Had a man on him, but couldn't complete the catch.
Yeah, it's that number 11 in motion. I can't work out who number 11 is because I thought that was the quarterback. Well, they've clearly got another receiver out there somewhere with an identical number. But on that occasion, it was Yak Williams who ran the deep route. And he got the one-on-one matchup. Everything was right about that. It just didn't quite come off. And that's a tough result because the punt's going to go into the end zone. It feels like it's falling apart here for New York. They need a turnover on defense or something just to turn the script.
And Jacob, that would have been a 49-yard field goal. The reason, the fact they didn't kick it means that they're just not at the range of John Smith, and they're just a few yards away. I imagine it. Oh my! It could have been a field goal instead. Anchorage starts at their 20-yard line because the punt becomes a touchback. And now Pajak, with 3 touchdowns to his name, has all the space in the world to do whatever he wants here. Will throw on first down. Pajak with all the time again. Will throw to the opponent. His first interception of the night. Wow. Well, that happened.
So, A, Brian Davis, I'm sorry. B, Iggy Turner, you're welcome, because that's exactly what we willed into existence there in the broadcast booth. They needed a turnover. And Zion Waddle's, the Fort Worth Toro call down, has produced one. And now they find themselves immediately in the SFLm red zone. And here's your opportunity. You have to execute here.
Here's the spread look again that they've gone to quite a few times tonight now. Joseph Guy Clausen in chat asking Mikhail if he had his glasses on, showing to the other team. Here's the handoff. Oh my goodness, he has space again. How is he doing this over and over?
the blocking, Mark. I mean, you've got to give credit to what this offensive line is doing here in the fast side. But again, Thicky, that lead block, excellent. And then you've got a receiver marching downfield, Lazardi, who was going to create the channel for him, but he's got caught from behind. That was 6 points in waiting for Dominic Kane, but he got caught.
Lazardi, even Lopez downfield with a potential block had Kane broken that final tackle. But now it's the first time they're here in goal situation. First and goal to Big Soldier goes for about a 1-yard gain, tackled by Webb. Sorry, not Webb, Julian Gasca. First time we're calling his name on a tackle.
No, I get why you make that call, though, because it started exactly the same way their last drive did, with a big run by Kane out of the spread. They go back to the heavy set with KBS, and he gets shut down. And then they're basically going to do the same thing here with Kane, and we'll see if it yields the same result.
It's a pitch to the outside. Look at those blocks. Look at those tacklers. Kane can get that. No! A yard short, Jacob. He could have lowered his shoulder and make the touchdown, but instead runs out of bounds.
Yeah, he just didn't quite have the angle to stay inside. They're going to mark him at the 1 here.
Oh, man.
I feel like you just have to go to KBS and see if KBS can make the play here. You've got 2 shots at it.
Soldier
Don't run the counter, whatever you do. Do not run that counter.
Thicky, the lead blocker. Hand in motion. Will this go inside or outside? It's to the outside. Big Soldier gets there. He punches in the second touchdown for New York, and New York will cut into this lead 16-24. Extra point pending to cut into 7.
Yeah, better play calling from Mickey Turner. He's learned his lesson from that last drive where they had the 4th down run and ran that counter draw play. This time just goes with the ISO, lets Tom Thicky create the valve, and then KBS finishes the job. And now you're within a single score. So the huge turnover by Zion Waddles on Mikael Pajak, who's been brilliant tonight, makes 1 error and they capitalize on it. New York's back in the game.
17-24 is the score. We are having an incredible ball game here, folks. You are watching the SFL Minor League here in the Virtual Football Network, the only place that gives you more football than anywhere else. The SFL lives on the Virtual Football Network. Here's a return by Anchorage, still up. It will get brought down the 35-yard line. So a much better start to their drive here. 65 yards to go to score. You think New York can hang on here, Jacob?
Well, I mean, you got to see, right? You've gotten a turnover now. Mikael Pajak now has to respond. The pressure's on him all of a sudden, whereas it hasn't been for the vast majority of the game.
You will see Pajak has now 1 interception to go with his 3 touchdowns. So New York's only punted twice, once in the first half and 1 to start. Anchorage has punted once. 1 in the first half and then 1 interception. They've only scored every single drive. Hand off to Tim on first down. Tim will continue his first down prowess with a pickup of 5.
Yeah, so you've got to settle things now. I mean, they went straight to the pass on that last drive and it didn't work out. So now you've really got to settle things here. You've still got the lead into the 4th quarter.
And that is how the 3rd quarter ends, with an incredible thunderous response by New York to cut into the lead 24-17. Folks, put your 4s up. We are headed to the 4th quarter here in the SFL Minor League, and Anchorage has the lead, has the ball. It's 2nd and 5. They're gonna need a few touchdowns to keep burning the clock. That they're in operation, burn the clock and extend the lead here. It's 2nd and 5 here. Fullback dive with Tim in the fullback spot. Tim had to navigate a crowded highway there, but could not get anything.
Yeah, so now opportunity time for New York. Can you get it again? Can you shut it down one more time?
Simmons with 6 tackles and a sack. Great stat line for him too. New York will pinch the inside with their linebackers. They expect it's going to be a pitch play to the outside, and goodness, the Anchorage take advantage of the defense trying to attack the inside and instead go outside.
Yeah, they dropped off there, and you can see linebackers responding, but it's too late because they've just tried to go back into a passing defense. and a great play call by Ryan Davis on the sideline just to send his back to the outside where the defensive coverage was minimal and gets the play done. Paycheck in a deep threat.
He is going to throw deep. He's going to complete. How does he do it? He throws to the one, the only, Kevin Parker. And what a play by these two gentlemen.
Yeah, unreal. Just gutsy because they're so needless, right? You've got so much time left on the clock and you've got a fresh set of downs and he just sends it downfield. But you've got to give him credit. That's very hard to stop. And they're now in field goal range. So worst case scenario here, you work out with 0 points. But either way, they're going to kick it back out 2 scores.
If I'm a pro league coach, I'm looking
Ooh.
at Kevin Parker's game tonight. A great defensive deflection here by the New York defender. But Kevin Parker has been an incredible weapon here for Pajak and company. And you know, if you're a pro team in the SFL and you're looking into the minors, you're looking at one of the better, if not the best, wide receivers currently in the minors. 2nd and 10. Look at New York's defense again attacking the middle of the field here as Pajak will throw. He's going to throw to the outside, into the opponent again. 2 back-to-back interceptions and a late hit. I think it face mask probably. Or no, it is. It is face mask. Unfortunate for Anchorage.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. I just take the big play out of it. Why do you go aggressive here with 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter? You've got the lead. 3 passes back to back, and they've given the ball away. They were in field goal range. Huge moment in New York now, an opportunity to go forward and tie the game. When really it was looking like they were going to end up 2 scores down again.
And here's Dominic Kane again.
Unbelievable.
Oh no, he has the sideline. Can they get to him? They will. Wow, they save another touchdown as the hustle by Zachary Babineau will bring down Kane. Kane had nobody else except Babineau behind him.
Yeah, they can't do anything with him at the moment. Another one of those big trucks that he just is able to produce. The problem is the change we made in the league to the stamina means that he couldn't finish the run. But he probably deserves it there on that occasion. Brilliant running. And that puts them inside Anchorage territory. This game is swinging very quickly against the Wolves.
That was Bobby Green who had an appointment with the Netherrealm. Here's a throw complete. Brady Hendricks will find Lazardi, one of his only few catches and targets tonight, as Hendricks will keep the chain rolling.
It's been a quiet night for him. I mean, the show has been stolen by Kevin Parker, but anything Kevin Parker can do, Lazardi can do just as well. And it's an apt time for him to start getting involved in this game.
2 receivers with now 3 catches, Lazardi and Lopez. Here's that spread look again by New York. They're in the red zone. They're going to give it on a counter play of some sort, as the cutback by Kane will only yield a yard.
Yeah, I still don't necessarily love those plays, but it's a better situation to call it than what you've seen from the Anchorage example, where they ran it on the 3rd down and short. That time you've got a spread field, so they go to something similar here.
Well, at the very least, Kane is back on field, as the previous play for a 1-yard gain didn't really tire him out, meaning he's back there, but it's 3rd and 5 now.
Yeah, so he's out, but you weren't going to really run him again anyway. You draw up here again in the spread. You've got a couple of one-on-one matchups on the outside.
Take a look by Anchorage. This is a rollout by Hendricks, but throws opposite field and almost into the hands of the opponent there, as great coverage by Eric Belmont and company will make this deflection and force a field goal. Oh, man.
Makes things interesting, right? So now it changes the script of the score, but tough play for Brady Hendricks to make. Rolls out, has to throw it across his body. It's sort of not really what you want there in that situation.
The field goal is up and the field goal is good, and they cut into the lead, Jacob. They cut 3 points into it, but the fact that you're down 4 means you still need a touchdown. So regardless of if they got a touchdown here or in their next drive, they still need a touchdown. We'll see if they even get the ball back with time. to make that tying or even leading play.
6.5 left. We'll see if Anchorage just go a bit more conservative on this draw. Pajak's now throwing 2 interceptions. Short kickoff.
It's really the style of Anchorage, the way they utilize these heavy sets and the way they line up in heavy, force the defense to match it with their heavy set on defense and throw out of it, as we have seen a couple times here. Uh, but for the most part, I wish they went back to their fullback dives on the previous drive. It's good first down at their 40, so an incredible start here. Not the best of a kickoff by New York. They're gonna give it to Tim. I mean, it's typical. Give it to him on first down because New York still has no answer to Tim on first down.
And that's what you need to do now for the rest of the game. Unless they stop you, you've just got to keep running the ball because you've now gone to the air on the last 2 drives and 3 turnovers. You can't afford to do that again. So just let Tim finish the game. He's certainly earned his shoes tonight. Hits the century mark, and your second tailback and John Osmosis no slouch either.
Quarterback sneak. Pajak joining in on the fun of running the ball down the gut. He's gonna get the first down for his team.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten those right every time, so I suppose you can keep going with that as well on the short down situations. Nothing wrong with that.
Empty set. Well, Jacob, speaking of trying to be conservative, they go not conservative, but it pays off because who else but Kevin Parker makes the catch, breaks the tackle, spins out of the second defender, but will be eventually brought down. What a play. Gutsy play, but still, what a play.
A gutsy play, but better decision making because that time he's in a one-on-one situation, so you're really it's very unlikely that he's going to turn the ball over, and he's that good that he's probably favoured to make the play. Nearly 200 yards on the afternoon for Kevin Parker. Unbelievable.
I mean, it said the stats were on the screen. Thrown to 10 times. Receptions, 10. He's got every single target his way. Just throw it to his neighborhood and he's going to catch it. He probably has a 1 mile catch radius. Tim, meanwhile, has a 1 mile mileage minimum he's trying to catch here as he gets another 5-yard gain.
Again, first down run, single back formation, run it up the middle, get where you can. Opens up the playbook here in second down and medium.
They gotta watch for the full dive. They're expecting it, but they cannot stop it. They know it's coming, Jacob, but they just cannot stop it.
It's just too good by Chevy Monte Carlo. Just lowers the shoulder and gets that rollover animation you see all the time. That time to the favour of the first down marker, and now 4 yards to go.
And New York on the line attack the edges here. Only 1 or 2 linebackers in the middle. We'll see if it pays off. It doesn't. The linebackers will move backwards. They actually saved this play. A chance for Anchorage to extend the lead with Tim, but they pushed him backwards.
Yeah, see, you can't help but feel like this is the moment here. You've got to knuckle down and get a goal line stop, otherwise this one might be out of reach.
Offset eye. Seeing the fullback dive almost exclusively out of this formation. Everyone in the box here for New York.
Watch for the toss.
Waiting for the play here. It'll be to the fullback. Monte Carlo, no! Monte Carlo's short by an inch.
Dear Lord, what an effort there by Zion Waddles, who has turned the dial up in the last 2 quarters. You've just got to do it again.
Yep.
Half a yard out. Full send.
Pajak. You gotta also watch for the sneak by Pajak. It's a fullback dive and he leaps. He dives and he leaps. And that's on Tim with touchdown number 2. And Anchorage is up to 30 points to get a 10-point lead.
I feel like it goes without saying, but Artie probably deserved a touchdown on that drive. Just, again, clinical on those first down plays to get 7 or 8 yards on more often than not. He's been brilliant today. That's what the dive was to his favour there. The line was collapsing and he almost had to sort of leap over the contest. And extra point away, 2-score game. Now New York have got to go down and score and get an onside kick.
Man, what an evening Tim has had. 22 attempts, 111 yards, one touchdown. He's about 15 yards away from having an incentive if he was in the pro league. His long of a 19, right? And he has been a menace on first down, an almost guaranteed 8-yard gain if you give the ball to him on first down. He, if not Parker, then he is, player of the game number two, in my opinion.
Oh, it's a very worthwhile conversation, isn't it? But uh, it's now's the time for New York. I mean, you've had a winless season, played amicably today, but it's now time for Brady Hendricks to show his value.
So New York on first down at the 20-yard line will start with a pass, and they're in operation go, 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 speed racer, go. And in a good formation to do it with four wideouts here. Hendricks will throw again. Hendricks to the middle of the field. That is complete. Nice catch by his receiver. They're going to hurry up back to the line. Hendricks is now up 9 for 13, 112 yards. A quiet night by him. Biding his time, and the throw is complete again. I think that is to Lopez. But back on the line now. Hendricks on a similar play, but this time throw to the outside is incomplete. Jarred loose by Spiderweb. Spiderweb has been pretty exceptional tonight as well. We don't get a chance to talk much about this Anchorage defense because they're not on the field as often as their offense is. The quads look now by New York, 2nd and 10, at the midfield. 2 minutes and a half to go in the fourth quarter. To throw is Hendricks. He fumble. He throws a lateral that's incomplete, and they say it's a fumble, meaning they get awarded or penalized the yardage loss.
Yeah, -7, and
Oh no!
I'm not sure about that one.
I mean, in as much as there are no targets downfield because they're covered, Jacob, I don't think throwing, backwards is a better option either. 3rd and 17, they're back to their quads look here. Anchorage with too high safety, they're going to drop everyone. Throw to the outside is incomplete as New York now face 4th and 17, and perhaps, their game deciding play of the night. If they can get this, they can get a chance at a touchdown and onside kick recovery. If not, Anchorage just ends the game here. Quads look again. 4th and 17 at their own 42-yard line. They're gonna burn the clock all the way to 8 seconds, and it's a swing pass. Not even close, Jacob, to a first down. That's a turnover and downs on 4th and 17.
Yeah, no. No. Do something a little bit more adventurous there. That's the second time they tried that. And you could feel the energy in the stadium rising there as Anchorage knew they were close. And New York, unfortunately, despite their best efforts today, have come up short again.
Well, as Anchorage looked to tie the knot on this ball game, Tim still spectacular in first down, pick up 6 yards. There are some silver linings despite the loss here for New York. They put up 20 points. D'Angelo Lopez with a breakout game, 6 targets, 6 receptions for 70 yards, Jacob, as a dev player coming down from Vancouver, but definitely one of the younger players in development for Vancouver, showing out tonight for 7 yards. Lizardi, a quiet night, 3 catches and 5 targets for 40 yards. And perhaps the over-reliance on the run game, Dominic Kane averaging 7 yards per carry, but the unbalance with the pass game, would you say is the reason that they find themselves in the situation they're in?
No, I wouldn't. I just think their defense took too long to get into the game today. As you see there, another nice completion on the outside, but defensively today, and especially given that they lost their main middle linebacker to injury in the second quarter, worth noting that because they don't have another linebacker on the roster, and it was sort of all on Simmons to make a performance out of it, which he did to his credit, but it's been a very good performance by this Anchorage offense, and sort of a lot of learnings to take away again for a U-turner. Just to touch on that third down and long call, fourth down, I should say, and long call, you've really got to be careful on what passing plays you have in those formations because if you're stuck with, two or three options and one of them's that screen pass, you're kind of leaving yourself with a 1 and 3rd chance that it gets called here in the
True.
dying stages. And the play makes sense in sort of your earlier down situation. Maybe it's a 3rd and 6, and you draw the quads up and throw the screen pass, and it works. But in a 4th and 17 where you don't want it to be called, it's there, and the game can theoretically call it.
Absolutely. And on the other hand, Anchorage, not only did they handle business, they handed it the way they've been doing it all season long, Jacob, with their running backs playing at different positions in the field as a halfback, as a fullback, and even Pajak with his own running. He has 5 attempts for 6 yards, three of which come from quarterback sneaks, getting a bunch of first downs that way. So the ability of Anchorage to complete on third downs as well is, I guess, the one marked difference between them and New York. Unfortunately, we saw several occasions, Jacob, where New York was third in inches and pull out the wrong play on the run. Anchorage didn't have quite much of that issue tonight.
No, they were clinical. Anchorage. To take away the two turnovers, Paycheck was really good. Just they went too aggressive when they didn't need to. But again, otherwise, I mean, you look at it from that perspective, 16 to 23 for nearly 300, 3 touchdowns. That's an outstanding
That's pretty
performance.
good.
I think he was kind of let down by the play calling tonight, Mikhail Payjack. But Kevin Parker, unbelievable again. They're going to head to 5-3, and they're looking legitimate here, Anchorage.
They are looking very legitimate. They go to 5-3 as they try to catch up to the bunch of 5-2 teams at the top of the league to get into the playoffs. New York still looking for their first win because with zeros on the clock, that is how the ball game ends with New York not yet getting their first W in the win column. Anchorage 31, New York 20. We've talked already quite a bit about this game, but anything you want to mention about, either team moving forward here, Jacob?
Yeah. I mean, I think for New York, there's some takeaways here to be made on the play calling side of things and what you do in those sort of pressure situations where you're in the no huddle and what do you have in those heavy passing sets. But Dominic Kane, phenomenal again. Art Tim, brilliant. Plenty to sort of highlight from this game, but just uh, so close so far for New York. But Anchorage, clinical today. It's hard to really fault what they were able to produce.
And your player of the ball game, we alluded to, but who would you give the ball game player to?
I think it has to be Kevin Parker. It's not really a question. He got them out of some deep situations where they needed a big play. He made them, but anytime you have a performance where you haven't dropped the ball, that's enough for me.
Gonna have to agree with you there. So, folks, Kevin Parker is our player of the game. Anchorage is the winner of the ball game. We got two more minor league games here in the SFL minor league, so don't leave the Virtual Football Network. Stay tuned. But for me, Jacob, JW, and Ellie, as well as Alex West, thanks for joining us and have a good night. We'll see you later. Bye.